Earlier on, we got to see a lightweight versus a heavyweight, and their lightweight managed to knock them down. This time, though, CJ, this is an absolute David versus Goliath story.
Now, wait a bit, Stumpy. I'm getting slandered on the desk for my accent. Ladies and gentlemen...
I'm listening to you, of course you are.
I'm not going to take that look, but as Johnny said, I'm excited for this one because we have facts. We haven't seen these guys. They've been around in the fall. They got a couple of last places, and because of that, they're 16th in the region. Here they are in the regional, beat Vitality in the groups, and have found their way into a quarterfinal matchup against Oxygen. And as Johnny said, Stumpy, we do indeed, ladies and gentlemen, have Kaka and Parker. How good.
I mean, you love to see it as well. And Archie, of course. You can't be forgetting Archie here with a long A. But I mean, you said about them in the groups. FUFAXDOP were in Liquid's group, and they were in the game versus Liquid. Really disappointing, to be honest. They were an easy team for Liquid to beat. However, we're seeing them open up the scoring because they managed to beat Vitality. And sure, Vitality just lost to G1, but that is still a fantastic team for them to go up against.
Yeah, I'm not going to call out the desk again, but they're talking about skill diff, obvious mismatch. I mean, are we forgetting how they got to the quarterfinals? I understand these guys haven't made a main event. This is their first one this split. But as you said, they've got the results to back it up. They beat Vitality, a top 2, top 3 team in Europe. And clearly they've got the ability here. I'm going to call them Fax because I feel like I'm going to say their full name. I'm going to stuff it up somehow. But this Fax team, they've been looking solid so far. And with this, I guess, Oxygen lineup that's a little bit underdone, a little bit underarmed, if you will. No. Under wrist.
Very good.
They're vulnerable here.
I mean, Oxygen, they are going to be coming into this series thinking that, yeah, obviously we're going to win this. They're the number 2 team, rather, in Europe at the moment. However, FUFAXDOP, what have they got to defend with? And it doesn't look like much. Karka just stays completely grounded. Maybe thought that there was going to be somebody, maybe Parker comes in to save it, but he just didn't fancy that one.
Did he just put his controller down? What just happened there?
Unsavable.
It looked like I'll say, it looked like he just disconnected. Or I don't know what happened, but yeah, I think he assumed that the third man was going to be there. A bit of a misplay, but nothing really doing. No timeout or pause. No technical issues here. Just a bit of miscommunication.
Just a bit of brain lag. A little bit of brain lag, and that is going to be having Oxygen come back with the score. I mean, it's 1-1 now. Had a minute and a half so far. Big clear coming from Parker. The left wing is actually very open until Rise then flies onto that backboard, man with the broken wrist, but still lots and lots of ability that he's going to be able to pull his team through with. Archie defending versus Boris. That's awkward and floating, but Rise against the backboard, and with enough boost to carry along to the corner. It seems that there's a lot of space for Oxygen and not too much threat being pushed down their end, which I think when you get a huge team versus a big underdog, you need to threaten them as the underdog. You cannot give them room, because as soon as they have space, they will just outplay you.
And you can't give them a cheap equaliser like they got there as well. Just a free goal after working hard earlier on in the game. So certainly it's back in Oxygen's court here, the ball, and they're starting to pressure. Having said that, Parker just able to dribble this ball out to the side sensationally, pushing it downfield. I'm liking the look of this Fax lineup. They're not panicking. They're not throwing the ball away. They're happy to dribble it downfield and try and create some offense.
Tell you what though, mate, the desk were right on one thing. It is funny when you say Parker. Like, in fairness, mate.
I'm saying it normally.
This, it is funny.
It is not funny. I'm absolutely saying this normally, and everyone, watching this European broadcast should agree with the Australian here. But anyway, have a look at Parker going up high. Rise just gets a block out. Fax are pressuring this Oxygen lineup. It is not as one-sided as we may have seen. Unless Jorius flip reset off the ceiling. Parker gets the save. Rise follow-up goes high.
Yeah, extremely high as well. Maybe thought there was going to be a third man up and ready to get that follow-up, but instead it goes down the other side. It's a good chance for Rice to save it away. Now Archie into the air with nobody challenging him, though. There's so much time and space. That pinch is central. Faris is going to be turning. The 100 boost in the corner, then picked up by Parker. On defense, he finds himself. And the midfield challenged again by Faris. Opportunity, Karka to shoot, and top corner not quite found until Parker comes in. Again, chances really starting to arise for Fax.
I'm not sure where this team has been in the past 2 regionals, or the entire split for that matter, but these guys are looking solid. Certainly a top 16, if not better in Europe right now. They're trying to be a top 4 team for this invitational at least, but they are looking solid. Europe are just... I feel like we're finding these hidden gems of teams.
I mean, it's good as well to see just new talent. Oh, not even necessarily new talent, but talent that's working its way back up. And it's why the Invitational as well, I really, really love that that's our format. Seeing that these teams can do well at the start of the season, and then they can come back after they've worked on it. Maybe they've had an unsuccessful time playing together, but they get to work on it and then come back and actually qualify for these later events. The double commit not working out for Oxygen on this attempt. Rise sees Archie with 30 booster, goes for it himself, absolutely flings himself past that ball, and this corner is getting a lot of ball time.
It almost feels like Oxygen right now are overthinking it in offense. They just need to find something a little bit more direct. They're trying to be really cute on the backboard, but nothing really on target, nothing too threatening. Unless Joris gets the shot. There it is. The pop out off the sidewall. Rise tried to do it before, but this time it's Archie that gets the job done.
The goal was absolutely on its way too. It was just a couple of deft touches into the center, block, 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 and then finally one finds his way in. FUFAX not looking like they had much of a route out, but the final 20 seconds, it's all up in the air. FUFAX an opportunity off the kickoff with Parker and 100 boost. No shot can be found as Archie is going to easily be beating both defenders to that ball. Joris shies away from that challenge from Karka, but misses it. Just Parker now to bump the last man, isn't able to get there, and so the final 3 seconds ticks down with the pressure in favor of FUFAX until the long clear. Karka finding Parker. Central, Karka to shoot, but again another save from Joris. A very weak shot, bumps coming in on the back line. No goal found. Oxygen, predictably, game number 1, but by no means comfortable.
Yeah, we're predicting Oxygen to win, but FUFAX gave them a run for their money early. The second goal really cost FUFAX there. We probably should have been heading to an overtime. It was a weird goal, clearly a bit of miscommunication more than anything. We'll have to put that down to, but Oxygen spent probably that, the last couple of minutes playing with their food a little bit until they got that go-ahead goal, and FUFAX couldn't quite get the job done, couldn't quite get the equaliser back, but well, FUFAX, they're looking a lot better than perhaps I'm calling out the desk a lot because they were mean to me, but they're looking better than I think people are giving them credit for. This is a good team.
You've got a chip on your shoulder. Like, you seem like a wounded animal. Do you feel cornered?
Yes, I do. I do, actually. Thank you for that. But no, I'm liking this FUFAX team, Parker and Karka. I like saying their names. They're looking strong. And the best part about this team as well is that they're looking comfortable. They're not just throwing the ball away. Often you see these underdog teams where there might be a bit of I don't want to say a skill mismatch. That's a bit weird, but certainly a stronger team historically in Oxygen. They just throw the ball away. You panic a little bit. You're nervous. But these guys, they're keeping the ball. They're trying to play their own style of game. And it nearly worked there. They probably should have headed into an overtime there in game 1.
I don't think it's unfair to say there is a skill mismatch. I think that it's quite clearly a skill mismatch because it's number 2 versus number 16-ish in Europe. Like, they are going to be knowing that they are pressured. But I agree where you say that they're not just throwing the ball away. Like, they're taking touches. They are drawing the 50s in and hoping that then they can get something good from it. Because if you just keep booming it away and you've not actually got any of that pressure, well, Oxygen, they'll just wait back. They'll know how to counter-attack that. And then they can actually stay close to the ball and get strong 50s.
Parker was just showing that, and they're getting a couple of 50-50s moving downfield. They're certainly getting value from their touches here. Is FUFAX and Oxygen. Well, they're on defense early. What can Faris do off the ceiling? Can't quite get that. Parker is going to be able to dribble this one across. And we're just seeing again in the blue half here. FUFAX are pressuring. Well, Joris does get a lovely little touch there. Here's the first attack, first opportunity for Oxygen. Now we're seeing a little bit of attack down this end.
Blue half has been thoroughly battered, and so now it's a time for RG to completely forego the orange half. Instead, just send a dart straight into that orange net. Forbidden Temple sees Oxygen go ahead with Archie. A lovely double tap. Karka wasn't able to get that first touch, and the second one just a nose hair away.
Yeah, no nonsense from Archie there. No flirting around with it. Just straight direct play off the backboard. Beautiful fast double. And a lovely slot as well. Archie does put that one away. Oxygen, well, they're not going to be behind in this game number 1. Let's see how they defend, though, because FUFAX, they want to find this equaliser here, and the demo's coming out early. Could just be that recipe. Archie does get back in time.
I love the demos, though. I love just making sure that Oxygen aren't sitting back and, like I said earlier, playing with their food. If they're going to not feel confident, then that is the exact place that you want them to be, especially when you think, Rise has got that injury, and you're thinking, okay, if we can make him feel just another little bit of discomfort, then that's the best you can do against Oxygen. So yeah, definitely going for the correct play on that for the demos. But Fax, chance for them to show off how they can defend. Joris with one flip reset over the top.
Oh.
Rise has to leave, and so Archie yet again. Second goal, Oxygen.
Too good, too much space here for Jorius. Fakes it underneath, flip reset, just has to beat the defender there, and Archie's going to slot that one away every day of the week. Archie gets his second goal of the game here, and it is a little bit of the Archie Jorius show. Clearly Rise, he's kind of chilling right now, doesn't have to overexert that injured wrist. He's just playing that solid game.
Until that save from Karka, he was on 16 points going into the second half of the game. He'd hit the ball 8 times, and that is it. But now a shot from him as well is going to rocket him up those scoreboards. My God, he's on 82. But nobody at the moment just breaking that 100-point mark. It has been Oxygen thoroughly having game number 2 in their complete control.
Yeah, it's been very quiet here from Fax. They've had a bit of pressure, but just not much to say for it, as you said on the scoreboard. No real shots, not much value here from their touches. Here goes Archie though. Flip reset, fake underneath. They're looking susceptible here. Fax in defense to any sort of mechanical solo plays, and it feels like Oxygen are starting to figure them out now. If they can just beat 1 or 2 with a solo, they're going to get a good look on net.
Joris with the midfield play, sends it up high towards Archie, but he does not fancy going for that play. Instead, Parker challenges with Rise. A lot of boost burned, really not much movement down the pitch. Parker again going for that 50, and it falls back in favour of Oxygen. These 50s they're happening very often. However, how many are really going the way, considering how much boost is being burned on the side of Fax? A double touch attempt for East, not able to sink that one, however. And now Karka on the right-hand side, only 20 boosts, so he has to move away from that play entirely. But now we're seeing good levels of pressure, and the double commit from Oxygen shows that they are not comfortable seeing Fax pushed up this far.
Yeah, they're starting to challenge here. Parker's going to get a good save down the other end, and now maybe Rise can put one on net. Beautiful save out there. Fax do hold the line. And now they get an attack down the other end. Shot on net. Archie's positioning is beautiful there to cover that one out. Parker's going to be able to get this one downfield. Rise, a little bit awkward in defense. Oxygen, though, they just feel like they're killing time a little bit here, Stumpy. They're pretty happy with their 2-goal lead and want to see this one out.
They're also going for just strange plays to maintain control of the ball. Like there, Jorius flies up for it and thinks, I'll just get a flip reset because I can. They're not challenging me enough. Rise nearly getting that 3rd goal. Be the first one that Archie hasn't been scoring, and instead Jorius can shoot a very straightforward shot, but look at the pressure. It continues. Freeze has to get a good clear here, as now we're in that final minute, and the pressure is heavily in favour of Oxygen. But a long shot, Parker from nowhere.
Jorius just caught in no man's land there, maybe a little bit confident pushing up on the touch from Archie, but Parker, back post rotation, bang, slots that one away. Jorius can't quite get there, and we have the game all of a sudden. Oxygen, they felt a little bit too comfortable. Looks like they just got caught out a little bit, and maybe off the kickoff as well. Archie's going to be able to get back, but Fax do keep pressure. 30 seconds on the clock. There's a lot of time here to perhaps create something here for Fax. Maybe this could be the opportunity. There we go. Rise is going to get a huge beat out though on Parker, and now perhaps down the other end. Can Oxygen work something? Here we go. Infield pass Parker. This could be the shot. Equalizer. Saved by Archie.
Fantastic save from Archie too. Up nice and quick, but that pinch going the centre for Jorius. Can't shoot it as Parker cuts him out nice and quickly. Archie onto the backboard, but Farid rotated through that back boost incredibly efficiently. Beats 1. Can he beat the second defender? Goes to that musty. It goes nice off the backboard, but Jorius clearing yet again. Archie, challenge versus Karka, does get the control. Rise just needs to maintain ball control of that. The double commit is now going to be seeing Rise touching it to the floor. Finds Jorius, who sort of fancy touching it by the looks of things. But instead, game at number 2. Maintained, won by Oxygen, but not comfortable at the end.
Pretty workmanlike there though from Oxygen. I know you can see that late goal. Jorius getting a little bit exposed there, third man. However, 2-0 up. Oxygen just started killing time. They were playing their own game. They look pretty comfortable, and they do take the lead in this one, or they take a 2-game lead now. Looking pretty strong. I'm not sure what Fax need to do here. They're sort of trying to play a bit of a counter-attack game, but I mean, that defense isn't looking too hot. We mentioned earlier on Oxygen, they were sort of flirting around a bit too much. They weren't going as direct. Well, game 2, we saw that. They just started putting shots on there, putting the pressure on Fax, and they found 2 goals. So I think Oxygen have the recipe now, Stumpy. It's whether Fax can just change it up a little bit.
I mean, it was Oxygen taking 9 shots in that game too, and they have been one of the most statistically impressive teams through this regional so far. They're up near the top in basically every stat you're looking at. They're number 1 in goals, they're number 5 in shots, they're number 4 in goals against. They're not really having that many goals against them. They're number 2 in shots against, so only being outperformed by one team with how much they get shot against. They're number 1 in their shooting percentage and number 4 in their save percentage. No matter where you look, Oxygen are somewhere near the top, and that is a horrible mountain for FUFAXDOP to climb through. And the fact they're getting like a goal per game so far is a great start for them. They do just need that extra like 50% really, where they're going to be able to take a game from them.
Yeah, a little bit of skill if they're in game 2. Let's see what happens here. Rise, flip reset, gets the touch shot saved out by Kaka. Archie follow-up should just be in here, and it is. Oxygen straight away showing that mechanical diff there, and it is Rise to be the one to open it up.
I like that. That's one of the goals that you look at, especially if you're Paris, where you see Archie get that contact first cleanly over your second man, and it just bounces so horribly towards net, and you're thinking, I just can't turn quickly enough. I have so much time to watch this ball go in my net, and I hate every single second of it.
Yeah, looking too good so far, is Oxygen. Here's an opportunity, flick over the top, perhaps a shot coming out. Kaka can't get the touch. Well, that's hard to say. Kaka can't get the touch there, but now there's a counter-attack down the other side. Joris just gets past the ball, fed to it, tries to put it right side. Archie hits it around Parker. Here's the shot maybe, but Rise and Joris, no boost and pulling out of this offense.
Yeah, Archie really fancied one of his teammates to come in there to get the shot because that fake was incredibly deliberate. No chance that he was going to be missing that himself otherwise. So a bump, though, coming in. Good chances now for Parker to be shooting. Joris saves it away yet again. Parker with a nice quick rotation is going to be blocking out that boomer ball from Jorias. Right-hand wing sees Archie face off versus Parker, and a demo removing Parker from the pitch. Jorias makes it a 2v3 momentarily, 3 seconds, and as he goes to the sky, 33 boost, no flip reset. The double ping off, and Rise slots it bottom right. They're messing about.
They're just having fun at this point. The double commit, double aerial play. Jorias fakes it underneath, off Rise's bonnet, and then finds the angle, bottom right corner. Oxygen, I was about to say they're not really firing on all cylinders, but I don't know if they're really exactly trying to at this point. They're sort of having a little bit of fun, and that's throwing this Fax lineup off. Here we go. Joris again does get dunked out by Kaka. Fax need to find a way into this and find a way quick because this is running away from them.
It's a great demo, though, just to open up the back line more than they have been able to. And a fantastic fake. The bump from Parker now, and Parker is there to get the second touch.
Fantastic play. This is what we needed, and it was the demo to open up that back post. Joris got found out with the fake. Nothing Rise can do with the imminent bump on the way, and Kaka finds one into the back of the net. Fax do get a goal back, and that's probably the best play we've seen so far from them on the offense.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, it had a demo, it had a fake, and it had a lovely top corner slot. Like, there's not much more you can really want from that. However, bad news, as we're seeing for Fax here, is that every game so far has been a 2-1 win for Oxygen. So no more goals in this one. We basically go game 4. Basically done.
Let's call it here because Joris is about to double touch, but it does go wide.
It's 2-1. That's the story of the series, mate.
Rocket League is scripted unless this goes in, and it does. Never mind. Forget about your storylines. Archie gets the 3rd goal on the board for Oxygen. It just comes again from even the double touch from Joris. It did go wide, but it just opens up the defense. It forces someone to try and make a save, make a challenge, and is exposed again. The last man on Fax. Oxygen taking a 3-1 lead, looking to move on to match point, series point here in this best of 7.
I mean, no one's impressed, are they, Archie? You could have just let it be a 2-1, mate. Grow up. Keep it the 2-1. Instead, unless you make it 4-2. Make it 4-2, then at least it's a multiple. Until then, I'm just upset with you.
Yeah, who do you think you are? Anyway, here we go. Here we go. Fax down the other end. Past the infield. Joris gets a great save. Great coverage there from the Oxygen defense. Here's an opportunity. Parker's sitting up here. I like this. Drop down. Should be a goal. Put it away, but straight into Joris's face. The defense holding strong, but a great opportunity from Fax to perhaps nearly get one back. Does go wide.
Decent touch from Archie is going to be completely bamboozling the offense coming through for Fax. Rise sending it back towards Joris using the flip reset. Nothing central for him. Joris gets that awkward touch over the top, and so Archie can read it fantastically well. But Kaka, he reads it pretty well himself. Actually receives the ball, but can't find that second touch on that right-hand wall. Archie gets the 50 central. Parker pre-jumped by Rise. nothing is going to be getting past that midfield line if he has anything to say about it either. Because I've seen him pre-jump 3 or 4 times now, and he's been successful, I think, 3 or 4 times.
He's certainly getting up that percentage rate. Look, I can see why FUFAX beat Vitality here in the groups as well. They're such a solid team, and really, if you're overthinking the offense and I guess going for too many solo plays, they can expose you. But Oxygen have done well in being a lot more direct on net, just forcing a touch out, forcing the defenders to go. Because if you're just going for slow solo plays, this team is just happy to sit in net all day long and dribble it out. Just like right here with Kako off the ceiling. He's going to get a drop-down touch, followed up. Archie beats 2. Clear downfield, rises right there. Oxygen again. This is where they enter that 2 minute Stumpy of just let's kill as much time as we can, just slow it down, and just secure this win.
Another dunk. Archie making sure the defense doesn't feel comfortable at any point in their rotation. A long shot, though. This time Rise has learned from Jorius' previous discretions. Good flick towards the centre, but Jorius, the through ball, not quite finding him as well as he would like. Pass back can't come in. Archie instead goes to the challenge, and a pinch clearing away, getting rid of that pressure that Oxygen did so well to build up. 40 seconds remain. 2 goals needed for FUFAX to be able to make up this deficit, and just the shots being sent high. Rise with no intention to score there, just wants to keep them back.
Yeah, they're losing it in the midfield here, FUFAX. They're just not quite getting the touches they need, and you see Archie there just cutting out so many chances, cutting out and just getting those 50-50s, getting the dunks, and now this one's just going to be open straight down the other end with 20 seconds left. FUFAX just overcommit, looking for a goal, and this is going to be Oxygen's all the way, Stumpy. They're going to be heading over to series match point and a date in the semi-finals.
It's the classic thing of, I don't blame FUFAX for going for it with 20 seconds left. You got to just send everything. There's no problem with that. You lose 3-1, you lose 4-1. It's all still a game lost at the end of the day. It's no problem. But they're going to be looking forward to that game 4 as a turning point. Bear in mind, they have timeouts. They haven't used any. They've not used that timeout that they are gifted, which, CJ, I know me and you have been very vocal about this previously, and you had a little bit of heat from coaches on Twitter about your timeout opinions, but mate, I stand with you. Use it at 2. Don't wait till 3.
I don't want to get into this now, Stumpy, but I tell you what, 2 games down, don't wait for match point. Reverse sweeping a best of 7 is so hard here.
That could have been 4-2. That could have been 4-2. It would have been a multiple. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Could have been the multiple of 2-1.
As you said, like, they're going to call the timeout. The stats don't lie. You want to call the timeout early, get the timeout buff. 54% win rate after a timeout in Europe as well. So
there it is.
In best of 7. So it's a huge, you might, well, it's 4%, but it's an advantage nonetheless. You want to win that game. But we do get the timeout now. FUFAX call it. And here's an opportunity for them to perhaps, find one back and try and find some momentum in this series.
I mean, it's one of those things where you see the timeout, and you said 54% win rate when you come out of your own timeout. I don't want to just sound like I'm having a go. I don't want this to sound like I'm just saying FUFAXDOP, there's no real point in doing this. But equally, I don't know what can be said during a timeout for them to win.
You're having a go.
Fine, yeah, I'm having a go. They're extending their time in the limelight. All they're doing is making it 16 minutes of fame instead of 15. I don't know what can be said, and I want to be proven wrong, and timeouts are brilliant, but this isn't a series where this turns around, really. Oxygens need to maintain, and FUFAXDOP need to close that skill diff gap.
Yeah, I'm going to apologise to the desk. Oxygen just looking too strong here. FUFAX, they're holding up well, but they just don't have as many strings in their bow right now, particularly in offense. We're seeing some opportunities, but they're few and far between. And it feels like Oxygen, they're just sort of biding their time. And when they want to score, they will on command. So, I mean...
the thing is, you look at the scoreline. You look at the scoreline. 2-1, 2-1, 4-1, right? They aren't blowouts by any means. A 4-1 is big, but it's not a blowout by any means. It's still a goal in every game for FUFAX.
What's a blowout to you?
Well, CJ, proceed it with 2-2-1s, and I don't think that's a blowout. I think that's fine, and you see them every now and then. You're not being perfect swept is mostly my point, right?
Yeah.
And I think people will be looking back at this series, and I'll see comments on social media saying, why is saying FUFAXDOP don't have a chance? They don't, but that's also fine. Like, Oxygen are just the number 2 team in Europe right now, and they are not playing to the top of their ability. They are, as far as I'm concerned, saving themselves for that semi-finals tomorrow. Rise isn't going crazy. He doesn't want to hurt his wrist. Absolutely he shouldn't. Like, this is a stepping stone for them. That is what a competition is. FUFAXDOP, this is their chance to put this game on their CVs and see what they can really put forward in the future and have this be somewhat highlight reel-ish if they can get anything from it.
Well, I believe in the timeout buff, regardless of that utter nonsense you're trying to... Never mind. All right, it's all over, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys are enjoying your time, go grab a coffee. No, look, it feels like it, as we said, once Oxygen start going a little bit more direct on net, they're throwing the bumps in there, they're throwing the plays, they're just looking so much more deadly, and it's forcing Fax to have to do something, have to make a challenge, have to commit. And that's catching them out here. Their rotations aren't quite quick enough. Here goes Archie, flip reset. Here's a chance, bottom corner. Just goes a little bit wide. Rise is still there. Opportunity again. Perhaps Joris can slot that one away. Oh, doesn't quite get the power on that one. Fax, only a goal down now. I know it was a kickoff goal, but there's still an opportunity. Let's see if the timeout has done anything, if they're going to change something up here.
I mean, you'd hope so. Like, FUFAXDOP, if they come back and reverse sweep this, triple the salary of their coach, because my word, that is an unbelievable job. Joris, though, being forced into his own back half, does get a pass out from that defense. Gets one over the top. Rise shooting on net, but Parker able to send it towards the left side. Parker at that time waiting, and they do have good synergy. They do find each other often, and they are able to defend for decent periods. However, you always feel with Oxygen, as you said earlier, when they want to score, they just will. Archie passing down to Rise. The backflip comes in. That's not great.
There it is.
And now Parker with an open net. You bet your bottom dollar he does not miss them.
He's not missing that one, and perhaps a little bit of overconfidence there. Joris for the second time this series. Third man just decides that he's got to join the second man ranks. He's in midfield, too close there, right up the bottom of Rise. And, well, that's just going to be a goal the other way. Equaliser there coming out for Fax. And maybe if they can just find another cheapie, Oxygen start thinking about it a little bit. They haven't exactly been playing their way. That could be the opportunity. I like seeing these solo plays.
Yeah, so do I. The solo plays are working out very well. I think if you have then this second man, or if it was the first man, then going in for a couple of demos, a couple of bumps, just make Oxygen uneasy on their goal line, then you're going to be finding a bit more success with them. But Rise trying to get that pinch central for Reese, actually removing Archie, that one in offense, and now that chance for Oxygen is going to go amiss. Only 9 boosts for Parker, and Archie with 80 just throws his face at that ball as quick as he can. Joris up nice and quickly, pass down towards Archie. The fake, actually. I like seeing these movements from Oxygen, and as you said, it kind of feels somewhat inevitable with the pressure that Oxygen can provide.
Yeah, Oxygen have changed their lineup. You just see the way they're structured now. Joris got caught out for that last goal, but they're sticking with this almost no third man gameplay. 2 guys on either side of the pitch, so there's so many avenues to pass, to throw the fake, to throw the solo plays in. So certainly a lot of aggression coming out here from Oxygen. It might help them out, though. Joris does get a dunk. Karka's in a little bit of trouble. The flip reset does help him out, and they do clear it out this time. Again, another opportunity, like a little musty off the wall there. Karka's going to get the beat out, throw it on net. Archie's going to have to defend this one. Fax getting their first real chance at offense, apart from that counter-attack, and they're trying to hold it in, and still keeping it in for now. But Archie just clears it off the ceiling, straight down the other end. Oxygen back in control.
Just get rid. Archie getting his toe to that, toe punting it back into the orange half. An opportunity again arising for Rise. Back corner, and it's Oxygen on that defense. Joris with a very awkward touch. Works out pretty well until Parker fancies a sniff on that ball. Rise getting the save after Parker takes a cheeky little shot. Parker towards that right-hand wing. Seeming like we've found somewhat of a stalemate as FUFAXDOP, full credit to them, have turned up a lot more in this game. It feels closer. It doesn't feel like now Oxygen are playing with their food. It feels like they are actually being challenged a lot more.
They've turned it up, and maybe you play off the roof. It just feels like when Fax are in offense, though, it doesn't feel too threatening right now. Oxygen seem fairly comfortable for the most part. They're not stealing too many of their corner boosts. The boost manager's pretty good here from Oxygen, and they find their way downfield. Rise can't get the corner double. Parker with the quick clear. Joris, shot could be on net. Archie's got zero boost, but he does get the save.
No chance there, unfortunately, for FUFAXDOP. opportunity now for Karka getting the ceiling pinch. That goes on backboard, but bumped away by Rise, and Joris is not going to be missing that one with the 100 boost, though. That goes missing. The shot can nearly find its way towards the net, but Joris to save it away once more. Final minute, and FUFAX have been pushing. Chance for Karka to shoot. He does so, but Rise, bottom corner, is not going to be the one for them today.
Rise makes one of those jolting saves, perhaps that's what he was talking about, to save the day here for Oxygen. They want to end this one in a sweep. That could have hurt the injured wrist there, but Oxygen, they live to fight on. They want to close this one out 4-0. What can Joris do? Pass across. Defense is there. Archie still lurking. Could be an opportunity. Rise the finisher. Well, he was right there, but Karka does parry that one to the side.
And boost those Rise wants to be pushing this into that back corner, but Archie, look at that reception. He knows exactly where that ball is going to be punted towards. Zero boost, pinch central. Jory's there to shoot. Jory's is there to flop it, and Rise, he can't finish it either. No, the double miss! No! But what are you doing?
The bump was all they needed there. Rise gets the 50-50, and through comes Joris on the bump for Karka. Archie, the cleanup crew. Oxygen, 12 seconds left, get the lead, staring down a semi-final berth. And just a convincing performance so far. 8 seconds on the clock. Let's see what can happen here. Rise is going to get the 50-50 offense opportunity to bump out. Huge touch coming out from Joris, saved across. Ball still in dispute. Karka is going to get the touch. And now they're in a little bit of trouble. It's down the wrong end. Parker's got a little bit of boost to work with. Gets the pinch.
No, that's down.
Archie's looking to kill it, and does so. Oxygen 4-0 on their way to the semis.
That is such a devastating final goal. I didn't see if Rise made contact with Karka when he went up, but regardless, his presence was enough to throw him off. And that's what you need sometimes. Oxygen, a clean 4-0 sweep. They have more to offer, but FUFAXDOP, that is going to be them done for this winter split. It was great to see them. Like, the fact that they got through the group, they came through second, they beat Vitality. They then went 3-2 versus Sir in the round one, and then coming up against Oxygen was the final mountain that they weren't quite able to traverse. Decent chances though, CJ. What are you feeling?
Yeah, there was some, it just felt like Oxygen, they knew what they had in the locker. They knew what they had in the back pocket there, and they could pull it out whenever they needed to, on cue, on command. So Oxygen looking strong there and making their way through to the semi-finals. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We've got another semi-final, or another quarterfinal coming up right after this short break.